Hi, everyone. Welcome to our November Stamp It Your Way video. This is posting the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And I'm so thankful that you're watching this video with us. I am Betsy Kreider. I'm with BCreative Stamping, and I'm in Central Pennsylvania. And my cohort over here is...
I'm Mary Ellen Stites, and I'm from Central Illinois, and my business is Create With Me. And I'm just going to say happy Thanksgiving too, and I'm going to share a little what I'm thankful for. So I am super thankful for my bestie right here, Betsy. I am so grateful that we got to meet each other through Stampin' Up, and so many friends that we've met through Stampin' Up. And of course, my family, I'm very thankful for them. And I could just go on, but I just love that we get to do what we love, and we love what we do. And we hope that you see that in these projects that we share with you. So how about you, Betsy? What are you thankful for?
It's the same, ditto, right? Thankful that, of course, my family and my friends and this, you, so unbelievably thankful for you, thankful for my husband, thankful for my dad, being able to have my dad live with us now, and being able to care for him in whatever way we need to do that. And I had a small retreat yesterday, a one-day retreat yesterday, and just being in a room full of ladies who love the same thing I love, and just bringing each other joy and creativity and laughing and just eating and just having a good time. It just makes you remember why you're so unbelievably thankful.
Yeah,
And it's the
that's
little
so,
things, right?
yeah, it definitely is. It's so pleasurable when you're with like-minded people, creative minds, and you learn so much, and you just get to be inspired by each other. I love that. So
Fills your heart, right? It fills
it
your
sure
heart.
does. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I have a little post-it note over my shoulder here that says, "Do what makes your soul happy," and this definitely makes my soul happy. So I'm
Excellent.
grateful. So
Yeah. Well, I
today,
wore my little turkey earrings for
oh,
you
you
today.
did? Oh, I
I
could have
did.
done that.
I wore
Oh,
my
that's
little
so
turkey earrings.
cute.
So happy
Super
Thanksgiving,
cute.
everybody.
Yes, yes. Happy Thanksgiving. So we're going to share today. We've got a wonderful bundle of product that's out of the September through December catalog, and it's called Christmas Friends. And we're super excited about these cute little critters. They are adorable, and I think we've shared some fun ideas, a little bit of coloring, and a little bit of techniques, how to use it, and then how to take the things that we've shown you, the designs or the folds or the techniques, and then taking that into your own stamping. That's what's important. That's why we call this Stamp It Your Way.
Your
So
way.
yes, for sure. And we want you to take
Mm.
these little folds, these little techniques, and then apply those to projects that you're doing in the future. And we hope you're sending out your cards, right? This is a
Yes.
great time. We're getting into the Christmas season. We're going to be doing Christmas cards and sending holiday cards. So there's nothing better than getting a little handmade card, or even just a written note in the mail. So we hope that you're mailing your cards too. So let
And
me
it's
tell
even
you,
better with
yeah,
this bundle because they are downright adorable,
yes,
right?
yes,
So you're not
they're
only
so
getting
cute.
a card, but you're getting an adorable card.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so let me tell you a little bit about Stamp Away. If you're new here, Stamp It Your Way. If you're new here, we do a monthly subscription where you can get the packets that we're going to be showing you. You make 2 of each card. There's 4 designs, so you'll make 8 cards. And in those packets, when we mail them in the mail or you pick them up at either of our locations, we have some product in there. So we usually include about $20 in product. This month, we've got some paper and some embellishments, and then the card packets and our we charge $35 for that. So, but don't stop watching, because even if you haven't gotten our packets, we're going to give you some measurements. You should be able to duplicate at least the ideas or the techniques and get inspired. If you have the Christmas Friends bundle, then we're going to give you some ideas to be inspired. So stay tuned. The other thing I want to say at the beginning of the video is that if you just want to watch each card and you don't want to see everything, we've got the cards in our descriptions. We've got the card number, so you can jump. Like, let's say you just want to jump to card number 3, then you can just jump to card number 3. So please feel free to do that, because sometimes we just are so funny and we talk a lot, right, babe?
We do. Yeah, I would say you might want to just tag along for the whole ride,
Yeah,
because we can be a little on the woo kind of crazy side. So feel free to tag along. Jump
that's
ahead
okay.
if you're like, these two women are just nuts. I'm just not even listening. So we get it.
That's okay. But we really want you to come in and chime in along with us, because we love to read the
Absolutely.
comments. We like to know that
Yes.
you're watching, and we want to know if you like it, or you know what, if you don't like it, that's okay. You can say that too.
We
Just
love ideas too. If you have something that you would love to see us do or try or teach or show, please let us know what you're interested in. That helps us to kind of know where to go in the future. And we're stamping with you, right along with you. So it's a team effort.
That's exactly right. And we love to teach. I know Betsy does. She's an excellent teacher, and I love to teach. It's something that just makes my heart happy again. So we're
Yes.
happy to do that. So, okay, you want to get started?
Let's do
Should
it.
we go down to my desk?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm super excited about this, Christmas Friends, and I know I said that every time, but these animals are just adorable, and we're getting into that holiday season. I know we're just getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, or maybe it's just past when you're watching this video, but now we're getting in the Christmas season, and these little Christmas Friends stamps are so cute, and we're going to use. We use all these, don't we, Betsy?
We
I think
do.
we use them all. So
Yep.
and all the greetings. So you're going to get lots of ideas today. And then these are the dies that cut out the animals, cut out the trees, and then there's some standalone dies for packages and some holly and some music and stars. I'm going to use those, and then this nice circle. We're going to use that too. So super happy about it. So here's the stamp set. If you want to just see it a little bit
That's so
clearer.
cute.
Yeah, it's
It's so
really
cute.
cute. They're so cute. And I'm going to be using this little mouse, and I'm going to be using this little bear today. So we'll set that aside. And then here's the dies. Mine are kind of a shambles. There's no don't smooth sailing, but that's the dies that we're going to use. So okay, so here's the first card that I'm going to show, and this is kind of a fun fold, and I've been doing this fold a lot. I like it because it's a triple panel front standing card. And then if you notice this little mouse, this is the little stamp right here, and so you can see he's forward and then reverse. So I'm going to show you a fun technique on how to reverse your little mouse and how to do it so you have success. And then we're going to do a little coloring, and then I'll show you, we'll finish the card. So the pieces that you're going to need, you're going to get your packet, and you're going to have a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 red, or it's Poppy Parade. I'm sorry. Actually, I think I might have cut red here, but I think it's supposed to be Poppy Parade. I'm looking at it. I think, let's pretend this is Poppy Parade. Then you're going to have a piece of white. This is, I've cut two because you get two cards. So a piece for the back, that's where you get assigned your piece for the front, a couple of the wing pieces, a little piece that we're going to flag. Then you see on my sample, it's a little different. This is for your words. There's a little piece of granny apple green that we're going to flag. This is for our two little mice. And this is to cut out the little musical notes, which I've done in advance. So, and then we're going to need a little bit of the red and white twine. And we have designed our projects with the little peppermints. They were on back order, so we are giving you the discs, the iridescent adhesive back discs in your project. So if you've got the peppermints and you want to do the peppermints, you go ahead and do the peppermints. They're super cute, but the discs will be just as adorable, I promise you. And then, of
Those
course,
peppermints are like woo woo popular.
yes,
Those
they
things
sure
come and
would.
go and come and go and come and go again.
Yeah, very much. Let's start with the card base, and you're going to do some scoring. So the scoring of your card base is on the long side here, and I've pre-scored, but you're going to score at 2 inches, 3 1/8 inches, 5 3/8 inches, and 6.5 inches. So again, it's 2 inches, 3 1/8, 5 3/8, and 6.5 inches. So your card is just going to be folded just like this. So back, forth, back and forth. So you have a little stand-up card like that. And of course, I like to definitely use my bone folder to burnish the card. And I'm going to do it on both front and back. And then it's just quickly putting on your designer series paper. So you're going to need the 3 pieces just like that. And I'm just going to take some adhesive and I'm going to add that quickly before we do any of our stamping. So I'm going to layer it right into my scored places, just like this. This is, I forgot to say, this is the Take a Bow paper. And you're going to say, why do you call it Take a Bow instead of Take a Bow? It's because this paper goes with a bundle that makes beautiful Christmas bows. So it's not too late to grab your Take a Bow bundle. It's really nice. It's the paper and the dies, and it makes beautiful bows. And I don't have one here for you, but just trust me, it's really pretty. So if you love to make your own bows, or someone had the idea of making the bows and then making a whole bunch of bows and turning them into a wreath. Gorgeous, super gorgeous idea. And I thought that was great. So
Shut
now,
the front
yes,
door.
I know.
Whoa. Wait one cotton pick. Wait a second. You can get the paper and the die together?
Yes, you get
It's
the
a
paper and the
bundle?
die. Yeah, it's a paper and a die bundle. And so it's a little different than normally, because normally you have stamps and dies, right? But this is paper, Take a Bow, and the dies, which I don't have them here to show you, but they make beautiful Christmas bows, just like the ones you would buy, but you would make it out of this paper. So super,
Swear to goodness gracious, I did not know you could get that as a bundle. I thought those were 2 separate products. I did not know you could get them in
yeah,
a bundle
really,
price.
really. Oh, really? I taught you something? That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, it's really cute. There's no stamps, so it's just dies and paper, and it makes those
I learned something new.
unlimited bows. But can you just imagine making a beautiful wreath out of bows? Like getting the
Mhm.
flat chipboard, or getting even a styrofoam wreath and covering it with bows for your front door. I mean, totally
Oh
gorgeous,
my
and a big
goodness.
bow. Yeah.
All
So
I
when
bought was
you're
ever the paper. I never bought the actual dies, and I didn't realize I could get them both at the same time. Oh
yes,
well.
yeah, you can.
It's
When
not
you're
too late.
making a card like,
It's not too
no,
late.
it's not. No, it's definitely not. So when you're making a card like this, and I'm going to say this in a general sense, just to give you an idea of how this card works. When you do anything for your front panel on a triple panel card, just make sure that it is no bigger than 4 1/4. If it's 4 1/4, then that's going to fit in your envelope. So you want to have something extending to make it pop out. Just stay within the 4 1/4 parameters and you're golden. So we're going to take the Granny Apple Green, because that's part of this paper. Granny Apple Green's right in this stripe. I'm going to flag my Granny Apple Green just to give it a little bit of, well, I don't know, what would you say, a little pop. And
Mm-hmm.
just so it's not just just a plain rectangle, I'm going to cut out. Hold on, I'm just cutting off to the side, so I'm leaving those scraps off my desk. So if you don't see me, you're gonna be like, where'd you go? And then I take this is the little piece of the Take a Bow paper, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I just want to mimic that little flag. So it gives it a little bit of dimension. And I'm looking at my paper thinking I might have cut my paper a smidge long, because on my sample, let me just look. Nope, this is exactly right. You want this paper to kind of expand outside of this paper. So it just gives it, see how it gives it that fun little dimension there? Yeah, super cute. So we can go ahead and glue that on. So I'm just going to tape that center there onto my Granny Apple Green, centering it top to bottom and right to left. And then I'm going to wing it and tape right in the middle and lay it down just like that. So that's our base. Okay, so that's our base that we're going to work with. So we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to talk about, and I'm going to move my glass mat up a little bit because we're going to use this lower left corner. Okay, I think you can see it now. Maybe my Create With Me is a little bit in the way. Let me move over a little bit here. No,
Oh,
no,
there you
why?
go.
Yeah, you'll see what I'm doing. So you can use, we're going to do that little reverse piece, and I'm going to start, we're going to practice with some scrap paper. You could do it right on your glass mat, but not everyone has a glass mat, but you may have a silicone craft sheet. I actually recommend the silicone craft sheet over the glass mat because I practice and I got a little bit clearer image with the silicone sheet. The silicone sheet doesn't want to slide so much. So when you're on the glass mat, you might get a little wiggle and that you might not be happy with. But with a silicone sheet on there, you don't slide. But I want to have the measurement. So if you don't have a glass mat, use your grid paper and your silicone sheet just like this. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going to do a practice first. And what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of masking. I want to remove the little jingle bell that's hanging off of his tail on this one mouse. So I'm going to take my Scotch tape or masking tape, and I am just going to mask it. And then I'm going to bring in my black ink, just like that. And I'm going to ink it up really good. And I'm going to get a little bit of a mess on my black tape, just like that. But we're going to remove that. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to take this off. And I've got some scrap paper over here that I'm going to put it on so that that is not on my desk and not on my fingers. Okay, so you can see, I hope, that the bell did not stamp. So this is our practice. We're going to go in 1/2 inch from the lower left side and just up about 1/8 of an inch on our silicone sheet. And this is our practice. I would recommend it. You're just going to stamp and press. Hold it for a second. Get all that ink to transfer to your sheet. So you see my little mouse here. Then pretend that this is the lower left-hand corner of your deckled rectangle, but you want this corner to be right here in this corner, and you're going to lay it down very carefully and press. So this is what I mean when I say sliding. You won't get the sliding with the silicone sheet. You can feel pretty secure about it. Just take your time, press down. I like to take extra time, let the ink soak into my paper, and then I'm going to remove it, and there's my little mouse. And then I want to show you, if I go ahead and stamp, this is just my practice. I'm going to do it again for you, so don't panic. I'm just going to stamp and see how their little tails meet with the little bow in the middle. Can you see that?
I thought for sure that you somehow or another lined that up so that you had that you stamped the bell twice. And I thought, wow, that's impressive.
No,
But this makes it
no.
so much
Yeah,
easier.
so much easier, so much easier. So let me get my stamping cloth, and I'm going to take my cloth and clean off my either your glass mat or your silicone sheet. Get that clean. Then get your mouse good and clean again. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So let's do that again. I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. You're gonna just take a little bit of masking tape. You're gonna ink up your mouse. You're gonna remove the tape and carefully set it way off your desk so that you're not getting that on you. You're gonna line up your silicone mat to the corner of your grid paper or your glass mat. You're going in 1/2 inch from the left bottom and just about 1/8 of an inch up. I'm going to kind of put my head in the way to make sure I'm doing it exactly where I want to. I'm going to press down and hold. Get all that ink on my mat. I'm going to pull straight up. Then I'm going to take my deckled rectangle. I'm going to turn it over. This is where I want it. I'm going to go back into this corner. Whoops. Right there. Lay it down. Press. And I'm sorry this is taking a little longer, but I just wanted to show you, go ahead and practice 2 or 3 times. It's just ink, a little bit of scrap paper. You can use any color. So there's our little mouse, and then we're going to ink him up without any masking, and we're going to line him up we can probably, you're just kind of winging it a little bit. And then the mouth, the tails didn't match here. The tails matched a little bit better there, but I'm okay with that. They're facing each other. You can see a little hair there, but it almost looks like they're hanging this belt together. So that doesn't
Mhm.
bother me.
Super
Okay.
cute. Super
Yeah.
cute. And it's a fun
It,
technique, right? It's a great technique to have that reverse
it
stamping.
really
It gives
is.
you so many, there's so many possibilities you can do with that. It's a,
It,
I'm so glad you showed that.
yeah. Oh, good. It really is really, really cute. I've got
I
some
haven't
of these.
done it in so long. It's one of those things I need to bring back, pull back out. We do these techniques and then we forget about them. And it's like we need to revisit some of them.
So I'm going to start with some light crumb cake, and I'll go through each color as I do them. And this is the main color for my mice. And I'm just going to do some light crumb cake. I'm going to kind of try to go quickly. My this side of my crumb cake isn't the best, but I'm okay with that because it's kind of a scruffy little mouse anyway. I'm just going to color. I'm going to go to the other tip because this tail is very thin. Color there. So if you're worried, like you might say, oh, well, my other mouse isn't as dark. When you color it, once you color it, that you don't really see the lines anymore. So the coloring will mask a lot of that. So don't worry about that. So super, super quickly, just doing my, I mean, literally super quickly, right? He's got a little bit of color showing, but that's okay because we're going to come in with the dark. We're going to hit all those things that the artist already has, all these hash marks, the ear, the ear here, these little hash marks. That's where the artist says this should be a little darker. And we're going to do the same thing here. Even up here on the tail, you can just dot these little lines. Give it a little color. But everywhere there's hash marks, that's what I'm going to call them, hash marks. That is where the artist says, oh, should be a little darker there. And then you can go back in either with your color lifter or your go back with your light and color in and blend so you have no like drastic lines. Super cute. He's just coming to life right here with this color. Like I said, I use light and dark crumb cake. He's so adorable. Okay, and then we're going to give him a little bit of a little cheeky color here. He's singing, and so his cheeks are all pink. And then I'm going to color really color his nose. I'm going to get it good and dark.
Which pink was that you used? Was that
This
like a
is
flirty or was that a
it's a
bubble?
light flirty flamingo. Thank you for
There
that.
you go.
Then I'm going to use, because I have the bright green, I'm going to make his little book. I'm using lemon lime twist, but the granny apple green would work just fine. It's just using the colors that are in the paper. So I'm using those, and you could go back with dark if you wanted. I don't really feel like it's too necessary, but if I was going to do dark, I might do the pages. I might do the spine, just like that. But I don't think you need it. But if you want to, I'm going to show you both versions. I've got wild wheat, and wild wheat is going to be my bell, and that is going to be. I always start with light, even though really this is a pretty tiny bell. So I'm not sure that the dark is really going to do. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. Okay, so
Wild wheat's one of those that I'm going to be very sad when it goes away because it's
yeah,
such an excellent gold
it,
color.
it's a really good gold, right? And then
Yeah.
of course Poppy Parade, which like I said, I think I cut real red, but it should be Poppy Parade. And because because I have a low shadow, I'm gonna draw it like that, and then I'm gonna add my dark for my little lines. And then I've got one more thing. I love, and if you've seen me, I love to outline so that my images don't look like they're just out there floating around. I like to use my pool party, my light pool party. And I like to go around, it gives it a little background. Looks like
Makes
they're
them 3D looking, gives
little
them some
tree.
dimension.
Yeah. And you don't have to be all straight on this. I actually like a wiggly line, so I don't mind if my hands are a little shaky when I do that. So there's the colors and pool
Can
party,
you hold can you
parade.
hold that up so I can see
You bet.
all the pretty? Look at that. Look how cute they are.
So this one, I got the two little images, and then you can see here on my sample, this one was probably a little bit better. There's just one tail. Here's my
I think you're
sample.
right. I think the more you play with it, the
Yeah,
easier it gets,
so
right?
here I overlapped my tails a little bit more, so you can see
Mhm.
here I got a little space.
Mhm.
So if you overlap your tails, then that bell's going to come right down right in the middle. I've got a little space, so it looks like it's hanging from each of them.
Yeah.
That's okay. So then I've got here somewhere. Let me reach. I'm sorry, I'm reaching, but I've pre-cut out. We've given you a little piece of. Boy, I hope they're in here. They're so little. Hold on a minute. My little musical notes, and I've got one more somewhere. Maybe this is for the other card. Well, it was here, but we're just going to use these two because I've in transit, I knocked it out, I think. So I've got a little bit of adhesive sheet on the back of these. I'm going to try to pick it off. If not, I'm just going to use liquid glue, which is usually my MO. I like liquid glue. I decided to try this, but this may not work for me, Betsy. This is so tiny.
It's
This
so
is
tiny.
so
Yeah.
tiny. I'm not sure I can even get that paper off of there. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to show you what I would normally do, maybe. Let me grab some liquid
It was
glue.
a good idea.
That's a good idea anyway. Hold on. I'm going to grab some liquid glue here off my other table.
We don't know unless we try.
Yep, that's just me knocking my glue. So, and I'm going to add a couple of notes. And since I just got two, because there is one that is, what is this, quarter note and an eighth note?
I'm very sad to say that I am
Oh,
married to a musician and I
yeah.
do not know the answer to
That's
that
why I was almost
question.
afraid to say something because I thought, oh, she's going to know and I don't. But it's been a long time
I
since
know.
I did.
I would have to get my husband in here. I'd have to get
Yeah.
Rick in here and he'd have to tell us what those are because I'm
Yeah. Well,
terrible.
if you're watching and you know, chime in. And I think I may have, oh no, here it is. Yeah, it's been a long time. I used to be an uncle, or I used to be a percussion. I should know, but and I'm gonna say, yeah, that's it, a quarter note, and
I
eight.
learned to read sheet music enough to be able to play Jingle Bells for my mother-in-law for Christmas one year, and then I immediately forgot everything.
I'm just looking one more time to just see if I got my star here from other card. I just thought, well, maybe that the other one's there, but okay. So now we can go ahead and put this on, and I use dimensionals. I wanted it to pop up a little bit, so I got dimensionals flying all over the place. So I'm just going to turn it over and use the little edge. If you don't ever throw those away, we're just going to tear them because you're going to be able to use every little bit on this sheet. And then I'm going to add, nope, I don't want to add it yet. I want to add a little bit of this twine. You were going to catch me. I know you were. I want to add just a little bit of this twine down here at the bottom. I'm going to wrap it 2 times. That needs to go to the back. And I'm going to then put him on. And then I'm going to trim up that and tie it in a cute little bow. Okay, let me put that out of the way. If you hate to tie bows, that's okay. Not, but this does really add a cute little dimension to it. If you really, the easiest way is to tie it in a double knot, and then I don't have it exactly even, so we'll see how much bow I get, but it's easy because then it's already there, and then all I have to do is tie my bow, just like I'm tying my shoes. It's not a hard thing. Sometimes you want to fuss it a little bit. just like that. And really, it's fun to even leave these tails hanging down as long as you want them, because you've got nothing here but you know, space for it. So you leave them as long or short as you want. And so there's my little bows, my little bow. And then I'm going to take my Poppy Parade here, and I'm going to stamp Happy Holidays. That is from the stamp set. And you notice on this, I am only using one color ink, and that's Memento Tuxedo Black. And on my next card, I'm only using one color ink. It's crazy, I know. But I've given you plenty, so go ahead and trim it up. These have glue on them. So I've got Holidays, and I've got Happy. That way you didn't have to work within my parameters. That gives you room to have a little extra. It's easier to cut out. And then we're going to use dimensionals again. I don't know if these might be a little bit big. I'm going to use these. And this is actually going to be dual dimensional. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I put this on there. It's going to actually, this one will be on the card base, and then the other one will be popped up on the, so this one will be here on the card base, Happy. And then I wanted to put this one on the, just above the mice, so it's here. So it's like little stair step, because you've got already got dimensionals under this piece here. So it's kind of, when you see it in person, the card kind of has a little dimension to it. So super cute. And then the only thing, only two things we have left to do is we want to stamp the piece that goes on the back. And this is where we're going to put our message. And you can, I'm just going to stamp my cute little mouse here. But I'm not going to color him this time. I'm just going to leave him black. This piece is cut the same size as your front. And so it goes right back here, just like that. And then you can sign Merry Christmas in there. And let's see, our discs. So you've seen it with the peppermint here, together. I'm going to use the discs, and I'm going to use the red. I like these
The discs are nice because they're so flat. They're so easily nailable.
They're super flat, but they're super shiny. And you can just see them sparkle. You can just see it catch the light. So they're different, but they're lovely. So you can see I accidentally cut red paper. This one's a little bit darker. It's supposed to be Poppy Parade, and it's in the tutorials, Poppy Parade, and that was just an error on my part that I didn't catch.
But the nice thing is that if you're doing it from home, you could do it in either color you want, because you're doing it your way.
Yeah, because really they all go together. So let's go on to card number 2. And I'm going to bring out the sample if I can find it here. This is the second card. And like I said, I use this cute little bear, and I'm going to kind of get myself, we don't need to be, I'm going to get my glass mat back in the center so that you're maybe out of the glare a little bit. Bear with me just a second.
He's so cute.
He is adorable. So with this card, you're going to get shaded spruce card base. You're going to need one. You're going to need a piece for the inside, a piece for the outside, the layer. This is gonna be cut. This is not cut for you. This will be just like this. You'll cut it with the dies, the circle dies in your kit, and then you can emboss it with whatever you want. I use the Snowflake 3D folder. You're gonna get a little piece of designer series paper, a little piece to die cut your stars. This is a little, it's a generous piece for your greeting. No, that's not true. The greeting is actually, you're going to die cut. This is the die for the package. You're going to actually die cut that, and that's the exact same size that this greeting fits on. So I said that, but that's not true. And then a couple pieces of the designer series paper, you're just going to cut those yourself. So that goes
Again, I sit here in awe that I did not know that the package die cut would fit that greeting.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You're blowing my mind, girl. You're just blowing my mind.
I gotta change my stamps here because I'm not sure I brought that one over. So let's flop out this paper for this. You're gonna die cut that, run it through the embossing folder. So we'll switch that. I've got my tree here. I've got my ink here, which is shaded spruce. And the only thing I'm not sure about, do I have the Have a Very Merry Christmas? Hold on a minute. I think it's hidden back here. Yes, here it is. Sorry.
No worries.
I've got my bear and I've got my Have a Very Merry Christmas. And I'm going to show you what I did for that greeting. We've got the little circle here. And then what I did was, there's an extra piece of paper. That was for your die cutting your trees. I stamping and die cutting. So this says, have a very Merry Christmas. And you might want to stamp that and then die cut it. I'm going to risk it and see if I got it. It's not bad. Then what I did on mine, and you don't have to do this, is perfectly fine. I wanted to soften that up and kind of put a couple swipes. And so I thought, why not take your Wink of Stella, and why that ink is kind of wet. Can you see how that's smearing just a little? I kind of want to soften it and give it some sparkle. So I'm softening it and giving it some sparkle, and I'm going to hold that up for you so you can see it. Doesn't show up super great for the camera, but I just took my Wink of Stella, and while the ink was wet, I put a little glimmer on it, and it kind of softens the words. So you could do it that way, or you could take, let's say you could take like your pool party, and I may just completely ruin it now, but you could take your pool party and run that through the words. Actually, I like that. And you get a little soft effect. And see how it just gives you a little soft Christmas effect. I don't know. Maybe you don't think that, but that's what I'm going to say.
It's very pretty. I knew where you were going.
So you're going to need 2 stamped and die cut trees from your scrap. And we have those. And then I have stamped and die cut my bear so that I can color it. And I've got some stars here, but I've lost my stars in transit too. I don't know. Everything kind of, I had them all in here, but I moved. Betsy can contest. I saw on the floor. Hold on. There's one. Okay, I'm just going to have 2 stars on mine. My card has 3 stars, but I'm just going to have 2. You're going to die cut the stars out of this paper, and you get these cute little, there's 3 in the die, cuts 3 at a time. So that's that. So let's start by stamping on our piece of crumb cake. And we're going to get the tree, which is right here. And I'm going to bring in, did I bring my scrap paper? Because, well, I think I just found that musical note. I just threw it on the floor. I love it.
We are amazing. We are so good at what we do.
Yeah. This doesn't matter where you go. You could go more. I could go up more, whatever. So if you want to see, you're going to have it like this. Let's say, oh, well, gee, I really want another tree up there. I'm going to go a little bit higher, and I'm going to have it just like that. So now I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to glue my circle right basically in the middle. And then I'm going to glue my designer series paper, take a bow right across there, but it's going to be just a little bit down. So maybe about 1/4 of an inch of your circle shows. That's going to be the base, kind of let's say our moon or our sky. We get these little trees. One gets glued. Did I go off camera? Yeah, one gets glued directly down, and one gets popped up with dimensional. So it's easy to build this. It builds pretty quickly. And then a little bit of dimensional right down the middle of this one. This one pop up over here. Okay. And then while I've got my glue here, I'm going to put my couple little stars. You will have 3. I only have 2. I'm going to see if I can pull those out here. Put it right over my glue. Whoops. I'm going to take your pick tool. It's not in front of me, so I'm using my old paper piercer. Then you're going to take just a couple little scraps. Don't throw those little scraps away. This is perfect for that. You can just flip one over on the other one. I'm going to use this one with the red stripe. I'm going to turn this one over again. You could just do a little cut like this. I think that's what I'm going to do today to expedite time. And then these can just be glued one on top of each other. Just like so. You could flag them. It's entirely up to you how much time you want to take. And then I'm going to put a little glue here. And I'm going to glue that to my greeting. And then that I'm going to pop up. So I've got a little bit of that paper sticking out of each side. And then again, take a little dimensional. A little on the long side. So I'm going to rip it. What I love about these, they're so easy to make them the size you want them, especially when you're using the edges like that.
Right.
And then I'm going to just put my greeting right there. So now it's time to color our cute little bear. And there's only 3 colors I'm using. I'm using pecan pie, light and dark. I'm using dark shy shamrock, but you could easily substitute the shaded spruce, or you could substitute a mossy meadow. Don't be restricted by what I use. And then here's real red, light and dark. So let's start with our real red, and we're just gonna do our bow. And sometimes I don't know how my tips are. So this is the light. I always start light, just as a reminder. I start light. Some people start dark. I do light, dark, light. And what I mean by that is I color light, then I come in with my highlights, again, hitting those artist marks just here, this, these lines, just like that, where there might be shading. And then I go back with my light, but I like to use my nib end for my blending, and I just blend that color. It's not as crucial. You could almost get away with not blending at all. So there's my, I feel like this is, here's the dark. So there's my red, and then I'm going to just use the dark red and do my berries now, because these are so small that I don't think shading on these is really going to be a thing. So I'm going to just use my dark. Sorry for being so noisy. And that way, those are already on there. Okay, so this is the light shy shamrock. But like I said, you could use the shaded spruce. You could use mossy meadow. You could use old olive. Just any color green. I'm using this one. I just think it's just a little more I don't know. I was gonna say a lighter shade of the shaded spruce almost.
To me, I think it does look like a lighter shade of the shaded spruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like yeah,
That's what I think too. Just
a
lighter.
watered down version of it.
Yeah. I'll just leave that cap off, and then I'll come in with my dark, hit my shading spots using what it's wrapped around his face, and that's probably really hairy. So I think anywhere that it's touching him like that could be dark. And then these little spots here. And you could just leave it, or you could go back and shade it. I would do either one. I think they're both acceptable. I don't think you really can tell a big difference. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to do him, and he's just pecan pie, light and dark. You're going to go really fast, light.
So there's a very funny story that I have to share about one time when I was out with Mary Ellen and we were talking, and I don't remember even what we were talking about, but there was a whole discussion about a fact that Illinois doesn't have bears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She goes,
and I was just
she's
fascinated
like,
by that.
something
I'm
about
like,
bears. I
well,
go, oh, we
Pennsylvania,
don't.
we have bears. I didn't know that Illinois didn't have bears.
No, we don't have bears. But we have had a bear sighting. And it's funny because it goes through the state from the north and was traveling through the state. And I remember saying, "Hey, we've got a
Yeah,
bear, we've got a
yeah, you
bear."
sent me a picture of it. You're
And
like, hey, we got a bear. I'm like,
yeah, it's very rare. We just don't have bears in this area, but it's very rare. And so there was I think a black bear or grizzly bear. I don't know. Black bear, I'm guessing.
black bear, probably,
Not
yeah.
not a grizzly bear, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, really funny
Yeah, it
because
was
I
just so
didn't
funny
know
to
that.
me. It was like it's like I chuckle. It's like I just kept looking at you going, what? You don't
What?
have bears?
What? What are you talking about?
What are you
Nope,
talking
no bears.
about? You don't have
Yeah,
bears.
no, no, no bears. I remember going up to the UP at the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with my girlfriend when I was just a teenager, and bears out in her garbage, and I was just so dumbfounded by bears. It was just so much fun. So you can
Yeah.
see how the little shading kind of comes together. Boy, is he cute. He's just
Mm-hmm.
adorable. Then I go back in with my light and just pull that color out. It dries a little bit lighter. I just will do that. And under his belly, he needs to be a little darker there. So super cute. Oh, Mister, you're so cute, Mr. Bear.
Yeah.
There he is. And so the last thing I have to do on this one is just to pop him up. And I've got just one little corner left, so it's perfect. And he's going to go right here on my card, just like that. This one already has the stars, so I decided that it did not need to have any of the discs or the peppermints. So this one does not have embellishments because the stars are the embellishments. And see, this one I did 2 on, this one I did 3 on, and I think 2 is fine. 2 works just fine too. So the last thing is, of course, doing our card base and then gluing that to the card base. And because I have the trees already here, I'm going to put trees on the inside of my card.
They're so cute.
Just a little kind of a Charlie Browning tree almost,
I
isn't it?
know. I think that's why I like them so much.
Yeah. Whoops. Bring that in. And then you can stamp your envelope at the same time. And there's our cute little bear. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Very adorable.
So we got this card, and then let me bring in the other one. These are the 2 cards that I've created. So I can't wait to see what you have for us, Betsy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, I have to tell you that when we decided and we discussed the paper that we were going to use this month with the whole take a bow, I went, really? Do we have to do this paper? Because for anybody that knows me, I am so not a red and
I
green
know that about you. You are
person.
so
I
great.
just,
Yeah, you
I
are great
can't
about
do it.
that.
I can't do it. I struggle.
You
I struggle.
did
I
do
struggle.
it. You did do it.
I
So
did do it somewhat. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
will be very honest with you in the fact that I did a green card and I did a red card. I didn't do a red and green card.
You got a red hat on that owl.
Yeah, there's a little red
Red
on there, but
thing.
it was just like the whole concept of putting those 2 colors together just is so difficult for me. So for anybody that is in the same boat as me that has difficulty with the red and green, you can do a green card and a red card. There are colors in this paper that work, right? So I am using the little owl and I'm using this cute little moose. So we're going to do the owl card first. So what I have here is I'm using the Memento ink and I've got some real red ink. I'm also bringing in my blends, which I'm using a little crumb cake, a little smoky slate. I did bring in my Stampin' Right early espresso marker because I want to show you a little trick with that. And then I have the light Cajun craze just for his little beak. And of course I have the die for him. So In this one, I am using garden green. And I'm using, that's your typical 8.5 by 5.5. And then I have a piece, you're going to cut your designer series paper, and you could really use any image in the back. This is 5.5 by 4.25. So it's a full piece for the front. And then you've got some different whites. You've of course got an envelope. You've got a white for the inside, which is your 5 by 3.75. And then this piece is for the front, which is a little bit smaller. It's 3.5 by 4.75. And then there is a piece that's 4.5 by 2, and that's what you're going to stamp your little owl in, and then die cut him out. Okay, so that you can get 2 out of there, right? So you're going to stamp him with a memento, die cut him, and then we're going to start to put this guy together. So I'm going to move that up here, and I'm going to bring in my greeting first. So I'm going to bring in my real red. I am stamping with "I'll be thinking of you this season." I'll be thinking of you. And I'm going to bring in my piece of grid paper here quickly, just to have a piece of scrap. All right. Because I always like to stamp on my grid paper first, make sure that it looks good before I go stamping on my cardstock. My cardstock's got a little bit of bend to it, so give me a second. All right. So we're going to stamp this guy probably around the bottom quarter of the card, like right about there.
Okay.
Okay, that looks good, right?
Yeah.
Done. Move that aside. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I have, again, the red and white twine, and I'm using about 30 inches of this, and I'm wrapping it 3 times. All right, and then I'm tying a pretty little bow. I think I shorted myself on the one side, but that's all right. Again, like Mary Ellen was saying, if you don't want to do a bow, you could do a knot if you wanted to. There's no right way or wrong way. I am very much a linen thread bow girl, so trim up my edges. And the nice thing is you can always move it around, so don't feel like you have to like get it perfectly right in this position. You can always shift it and move it after the fact. And this guy, actually, there was one step I should have done before that, but I think I can still do it. I wanted to rough it up. Yes, it's going to be on my front, but I wanted to give it a little bit of texture or detail around the edge. So all I did was take my scissors and just kind of rough it up.
I like that.
I do too. And we used to have a tool that did this.
Yes, we did.
And I think I still have it sitting in a drawer somewhere. I should probably pull it out. But if you don't have the tool, this is really easy to do. I'm just taking the edge of my scissors and just running them against my cardstock. And it kind of can mess it up a little bit. It kind of folds it a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I like that rough kind of texture. And if it even rips it a little bit, I'm okay with that too. Because I'm just giving it that roughed up kind of feeling. Because you could put a piece of red behind that. And what I did was I didn't want to have another layer. So to eliminate that, I gave this like its own depth by putting it and giving it that roughed up edge. You see it?
Yeah.
Right? So then I'm going to bring in this card is so quick. And actually, Mary Ellen showed you a picture of the catalog. I'm actually just casing this right out of the catalog. Because I struggled a little bit with the owl. I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to do with him. I'm not really sure how to use him. So I thought, you know what? The great thing about our catalogs is that it's right there. Why recreate the wheel? We give you, Stampin' Up! Gives us this great idea book. It's not just a catalog, it's an idea book. Why not use it to our benefit and case the ideas right out of there? Copy and share, or copy, selectively edit. Copy and share it and do it right off of what the catalog has.
I totally agree with
card.
you on that. I like
that?
to do that. I totally agree with you on that. And I like to do that when we get a new catalog. I like to make a few samples directly out of there, because that's where I start getting a jumping off point. So
right, exactly.
I really recommend doing that. I mean, they're
If you're struggling, if you have a set and you're like, well, I don't know what to do with this thing, I don't know how to use it, use that. You have the catalog, use it there. Okay, now this guy also, I wasn't sure about a whole lot of coloring for him. I'm going to go ahead and color his little beak because I know what color that's going to be. So I'm just using a little light Cajun craze there. And I know his hat is going to be red, so I'm going to use my real red to go ahead and do his little Santa hat. And I'm doing the light first. I do light and first. The big difference, I think, for me with Mary Ellen is that I use the nub end primarily. I don't really use my brush tip unless I need to get like really fine details or if I'm covering a large area. But to tell you the truth, I tend to still go with the nub end as my primary edge that I use.
I use a nib end most of the time too, but if I'm got a big like that bear, he was pretty big.
Yeah.
So I want to use the brush end for that. But yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Now, like she was saying, that the artist gives us these areas, right? The little shading, the little notch areas that are already in his hat. So I know that I can go darker in those spots because the artist is giving us that advantage and showing us where that goes. And I can, again, bring in my light and just kind of shade that out.
Yeah, that's cute.
To color him, though, I was like, oh, how to color him. I'm not, I'm not that up on owls. So I'm like, well, what color do I do? Is he all gray? Is he all brown? And I thought, again, the artist is kind of showing us where it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my light. I think I started with the light. I'm going to bring in the light smoky slate. And all I'm doing is just kind of pouncing it right where I think his feathers are going to fly, or his feathers are kind of laying. And I'm going to give a little red around the tail. And again, I'm just kind of pouncing it. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. And just giving him a little shading around those areas. Can you see it?
Yeah, I didn't even realize you had colored him. So
yeah. So then I went in with the light brown, right? So the crumb cake, I went in with the crumb cake and did the same thing. So that he's got a little bit of gray. He's got a little bit of brown. He's got some depth to him. And again, I'm just kind of pouncing in those areas, leaving some white space. Just adding in there some color to get what I want. And there he's done. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't need to be like completely colored in. Just a little bit kind of goes a long way. I'm going to bring in my front and I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. I'm going to pop this up on the front. This is a super simple card and any of these images would work like this. I'm going to bring this in, put that up in my front right there. And then I want him to be here. Like he's sitting on this little wire, right? Or he's sitting on this little trim that's going across the front. But I want him to have a little bit of shadow. Now I'm going to pop him up, but just like what Mary Ellen was saying about having some sort of shadow behind him, I'm going to use the light smoky slate in this case. And I'm going to kind of get an idea of where he is. And actually, you know what I did? I did this differently when I did it. And I'm going to follow my, don't change your path now that you know what you're doing. It worked the first time. Don't mess with it. Don't rock the boat. All right. So he's going to go on first. I'm going to put him so that he's just kind of popped in there. What I did was I took in the brush tip at this point and I just kind of colored around him right on to my cardstock. Right around him. I'm kind of like going right underneath him because he's popped up a little bit. So I'm just adding a little bit of shadow behind him. Again, I don't need the whole thing because you're not really going to see underneath there. So I'm just doing around there. Now, I love the color lifter. The color lifter to me is one of the best tools for really blending out any shadow that I have. So if I want to lighten this up or kind of wash it out a little bit, I take my color lifter, I go right over top of what I just did with that smoky slate, and it lightens it up. It kind of weakens that ink a little bit.
You can
now it's
see
going to look a little wet.
Yeah, you can see
first.
it transforming. It's beautiful.
Right? it just lightens it up a little bit. But then what it'll do is it'll eventually dry into just a shadow around him. And you could have done it with a pool party, like what Mary Ellen used. You could do it with a pool party as well, but it just gives a little shadow around him and again gives him that depth coming up off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and bring in, like you can see, I use the little peppermints for him. I'm going to bring in those gems. I'm going to go ahead and bring in, let's see here. I'm going to do, there's this neon-y granny apple. So I'm going to go ahead and do the greens, I think. So I'm going to do green here. And then I'm going to bring another green down here, just like that, right? You could do the red if you wanted to. Now, I brought in also Wink of Stella, and I put it right along the edge of the Santa hat, right where the fur would be. And I also did it right on the little pom-pom of the hat. Just so you had a little, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very much well on here, but a little bit of shine. There you go. You can see a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Just a little. All right. For the inside, I thought, I could just stamp the owl completely and put him in there, but I didn't want to do that. So what I wanted was just to have a little bit of just something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Early Espresso Stampin' Write marker, because remember, when you're coloring on a stamp, you don't want to use blends, because blends are an alcohol ink, and if you color your stamp with this, essentially what you did was just colored the stamp. It doesn't transfer. This, because it's water-based, I can color this on here and it'll transfer to my paper. So all I'm going to do here, hopefully I have strong enough glasses on to do this, I am just going to highlight. I'm masking, almost like Mary Ellen did. I'm masking, but in this case, I'm masking just the hat. I want his little Santa hat only. And I'm using the side of the marker. I don't want the full marker. I got a little bit extra there, so I get that off my finger. Now, if you want to, what you can do is you can kind of breathe on it a little bit, just to moisten that ink a little bit. And I'm going to stamp so that now all I have is a Santa hat.
That's cute.
Right? Cute, right? Just another way of kind of using the stamp to get another kind of image, that you could just do the whole owl, but I just wanted the little hat. I didn't want the whole thing. So again, I can color that. I can even add the Wink of Stella in here if I want to.
I could see you putting like your Merry Christmas greeting in there and then putting the little hat, like it's hanging off of your greeting even. That would be cute.
That would be very cute. Exactly. Exactly. There's no right way or wrong way to do this.
No.
I just thought there's another way of using that without just having the whole owl in there. I'm going to add some liquid to that, add that to my inside, and that card is done, right?
So cute.
Super cute, right? And I would do that on my envelope just to stamp the little hat again on my envelope. I think I have one floating around here somewhere, but I don't see it off the top of my head. I think there's one floating around. But you could do the same thing, or you could stamp the entire owl and color him again on there, right?
Right.
Easy. Okay.
Love it.
There is my first card. Now the second card is with this adorable moose. And this one's got a couple of pieces here. There's my envelope with my hat. There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right? Perfect. Okay, let me grab a drink. Okay, let me bring in my moosey pieces here, all my little moosey pieces. I did use in this one the Snowflake Sky 3D folder. You could use any folder on this, but I did use this folder for this. I also, we did this for our kits. We did a pre-die cut. There are a couple pieces. Let me just actually show you what you get in the packet first here, so I'm not confusing you. You've got real red cardstock. you've got a strip of basic white, and that's going to be for the greeting. We'll obviously give you just a big scrap of it. And you can use it. Like, we've got some crumb cake pieces. We've got some basic white pieces. Then we've got some more basic white, which is what you're going to do to stamp and die cut your little moose guy out. Okay. And then you can cut your designer series paper. Now, the designer series paper size on this is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And the reason being is because one of these white pieces that you're going to get in your packet is already going to be pre-die cut for you with this die. And this die is out of the reindeer fun dies. The reindeer fun dies. It's got like these, this nice like greens, the piney kind of look. And we're going to go ahead and pre-die cut that for you so that what you get is this, right? Super cute. Now, you can then take that piece and then put it through whatever embossing folder you want to use. And this is the one where I use the snowflake embossing folder. Can you see that? A little bit, right? There you go. So I have this already embossed. And then this 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 is going to fit right behind that opening. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of adhesive, just using a little bit of liquid glue, just around some of the edges here so that I can add that paper. Right there. So I just want to make sure that all my little areas are covered so that I have my red and white polka dot there. All right. This card base, this is another card that comes together pretty quickly. I'm going to use a piece of my crumb cake. This is going to go together like this. That goes together there.
Hey, Betsy, what do you
Yes,
say to
ma'am.
people? What do you say to people who just don't like the liquid adhesive? I know that we use it a lot. Like, I hear people in class like, "Oh, I just don't like that." But why do you use it?
I think that I like it because, first of all, if I get that crooked, I have time to move it. That's one of my big reasons, is that I have the ability to move this into the position that I want it to be without it being permanently stuck right away.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things I like. I also like that I can get a lot more bang for my buck. I can do so many more cards with this than I can with adhesive tape. I find that the adhesive tape, whether it's our seal that we use, or I know a lot of my customers use an off brand that they can get somewhere else, maybe cheaper, which I totally understand. But I could go through so many tape runners where with this, I can get so many more cards out of this. It's more cost effective. So
Yes.
one, it allows me to move it a little bit easier. This is popping and driving me crazy. Give me a second. One, it's more cost effective. 2, it allows me to move it a little easier. 3, I would say you just have to kind of play with it a little bit and recognize that less is more. You do not need a lot of liquid glue. Just a little bit goes a long way. I heard someone say, and I think it was Missy Shipman. I think I heard her say this, because we both know Missy, and she is absolutely one of our most favorite people in the whole world. She is one of the kindest people I've ever met. Missy one time said, I think it was almost positive it was her. She said, think of angel hair pasta, not spaghetti.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
Angel hair pasta is nice and thin lines, whereas spaghetti is much thicker. Think of angel hair pasta. You want to go a nice thin line. And the other thing I find, now you got me started now. Now I'm not
I
going to be able
know,
to
I
shut up.
know. No,
Okay.
no, I think it's important because you hear it a lot, right?
You do. I think one of the other things that happens, and I'm going to do this before I stamp, is that so many people go so close to the
Yeah.
edge. I
Yeah,
don't do that. Come into the middle, like I'm doing right there in the middle. I'm not going anywhere near the outsides, right? because
Right.
what's going to happen is when you push that down, it's going to, the glue does move. If you
Yeah.
go too close to your edges, then that's where you're going to get the mess where
And
the
on
glue
your
is going to
finger.
go out the sides. So
Agreed.
do it in the middle.
So
You don't
sometimes
need to
it
do
just
it.
yeah, so sometimes it just is that, practicing with whatever,
Yes.
and like you had to lift that little corner and put a little glue on there,
Yep.
that you couldn't have done that with a tape runner, so
Exactly. It's so much easier to do that sort of thing. Yeah. So I've watched a demonstrator who does only 4 little dots. She does a dot, a dot, a dot, a dot. That is it. That is it. Imagine
yep,
how many cards you can get done by just doing 4 little dots to adhere it. And that's really
yeah.
all you need.
Yeah, and I think I would add to that, that I feel like my cards stay together better.
Mhm. Yes.
The
Yes.
humidity or the lack of humidity or whatever, they're
Mhm.
not falling apart when the double-sided tape runners can tend to, over time, separate, or the glue does not. They are permanent.
Exactly. Exactly. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think that I find that I do get a little bit more, yeah, the humidity. If I've stored my cards, I've pulled out cards already that I've gone to use that I've had for a while. And when I go to pick it up, it's like it easily
Yeah.
the tape runners have, kind of lost their stickiness,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That
Yeah,
this tends to stay longer.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank you for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in the green tip. A friend of mine I was just with this weekend, we sell the fine tip glue, right? The one
Yes.
that's in the little bottle and has the really tiny fine tip.
Yeah.
She actually fills it with this glue
Oh my goodness.
so that she even gets even a thinner line by using that small little needle like edge. She fills it with the white glue and uses that because she feels like she has more control over it, and
Even
uses
better.
our fine tip glue but fills it with this white glue.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes. Yep. I started to go ahead and color him just to kind of save us a little bit of time. You can see I'm using crumb cake to do this. And again, this is where I would maybe, if I brought this in and I thought, you know what, I want more shading, but I had already colored him, I can again bring in my color lifter and I can say, I want this to be a little lighter. I'm going to bring a little bit lighter in around his face. You might not see it right away, but as the color lifter kind of moves that ink, you'll see it start to fade away a little bit. And you'll start to see it just get a little bit lighter and lighter as it dries. So remember, if you're coloring, you can use your color lifter to kind of lift some of that out. I'm going to bring in my dark smoky slate, and I'm going to do the edge of my skates. And this is where I do like that brush tip, that really tight tip. I can get into those tiny little areas with that brush, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the dark red on this one, and I'm going to color in his scarf. Because I don't know that I need a lot of shading on this. I just want the scarf to be nice and vibrant, so I'm just using the dark.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know that it needs a whole lot of extra, Sometimes don't overthink it,
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
overthink it. Color him in and be done with it. He's just let him do the work, And then I wanted his little socks to match. So he's got some white skates, but he's got nice bright red socks.
He's really cute.
Isn't he cute? I just love him. He's so cute. All right. Easy and done. He is going to get popped up. I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals with him. Pop him up so that he is going across our little opening. He's going for his snowy little walk right there. And then I want to bring in the Happy Holidays stamp. And again, I'm using real red ink. I'm going to stamp that on my grid paper. Just make sure it's stamping okay. I'm going to stamp that on here. That is crooked, and this is why I give you extra. That one's better.
I thought the
Now
first one was fine.
I say don't overthink it. I am the master overthinker. I
What?
will. Yeah, can you believe that?
No,
You
I'm
have
shocked. You're
so many
shocking.
doubts that
You're
that could be
shocking.
so.
You're
There's no way
shocking.
that's true, right?
Mm-mm.
No way that's true. Yeah, I will be one of those people that'll stamp a greeting 8 times until I get it the way I want
Oh,
it.
goodness.
So do as I say, not as I do. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. So there's my little happy holidays coming in. For the inside on this one and for my envelope, I went ahead and I brought in the little twiggy tree here, and I am all about the non-traditional. So we are going to have a red tree. Oh, my ink pad is
It's
juicy.
really juicy, yeah.
It's
It's
slightly
like
juicy.
a lot darker, but it looks
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it kind of comes in almost like a cherry cobbler. It's so juicy.
Almost.
Yeah. It's a little, that's a new pad. That's why it's so Stampin' Up doesn't skimp on the ink. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think what's nice about the cards we did today is we really stuck to just one color. Oh.
See, I'm able to lift that up and say, you know what?
Yeah.
I just stamped the wrong one. And I can pick that off there quickly and redo it.
You wouldn't have been able to do that if you had adhesive on there. Or like
Exactly. So I can re-stamp that guy and now put the correct one in. And again, like I said, you could do it where you could do just a little dot in each corner, and that is enough to adhere that. You don't need more than that. I'm just lazy and I just do it really fast and squiggly because I don't have the patience to do 4 little dots.
Well, then I must be in the same boat because I'm a squiggly person.
I just squiggle it on there. This one's sticking a little bit more because I have more adhesive on the bottom of there, but there you go. So there's my inside. There's my envelope. And again, we did the little peppermints, but you could bring in your little discs. And I'm going to add the red one here. And then maybe one down here. I don't like that one there. So let's go down here. See, overthink. Overthink.
That looks nice.
Overthink it. Okay. So there are my 2 cards. What do you think?
I love them.
Okay. So I have to show this because when I made this card, it was like, I do like it. I do like it. But being where I live and being Penn State proud.
Oh no, here we go.
Gotta bring in the little blue and white moose who's heading off to he's going to the game. He's going to a national championship game right there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though we might have lost to the red and white team, which I'm not happy about, he still has an opportunity to go to a national championship game. So there is my little Penn State moose who's so much cuter than the red and white one.
Oh boy, I didn't get the memo about making an orange and blue card. So
exactly. So I had to share him because he's super cute.
Yeah, he's
okay,
cute.
so
He's cute in the blue.
He's cute no matter what color you put him in, right?
That's right.
Exactly. I might just be a little more partial to the blue. That's all. So next month, so that's the Christmas Friends that we are doing this month, but we wanted to give you a little sneaky peek on what we're doing next month. So remember, this is a Stamp It Your Way kit that we do every month. We feature a certain bundle. If you have the bundle at home, that's great. You can obviously you can purchase the bundle through us, or you can use something different that you have at home. Stamp it your way at home with something different. So next month, just so you can kind of plan for it, we are going to be using the Nests of Winter. Let me open this up so you can really see it. This is the Nests of Winter Sweet Collection, and this is on page 30 of your holiday, the September, what is it, September to December? Yeah. It has these beautiful birds. This designer series paper is one of my favorites.
No, I
Ignore all my
love that.
scratches all over the
That's
catalog there.
okay.
But
That's okay.
you look at those little birds. Aren't they beautiful? And the
No.
dies cut out the designer series paper. There's a really pretty birchwood folder that kind of goes with this.
Oh,
So
that's
next month,
pretty.
you'll get a half a pack. Not only will you get the card packets, and we're actually doing a 3D project next month
Yes.
as one of the projects. So we're doing 3 cards, I believe, and a 3D project, but you'll get a half a pack of this designer paper cut 12 by 6. You're going to get a pack of the earth tone ribbon thread somewhere.
Na
I threw it in my
neutral
desk.
tones. Yeah,
Yeah.
natural tones or
Yeah,
neutral
the natural.
tones.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I know I had it. The
Yeah.
natural. Yep, it's right here. So you're going to get a pack of that, and then you're also going to get a pack of the dimensionals. So it's a really cute one. So make sure that you sign up and for next month. So yeah, so that's it. Those are our projects. So I'm very thankful that we got to play with this suite and this bundle this time around, and I look forward to December and doing some winter nest cards. The nice thing about that too is that I don't think there's a Christmas greeting in that one. I think it is all like non-Christmas. So we can mix up the greetings if we want, or make them,
It
thank yous or whatever we need, right?
Yeah, it's perfect for winter. It's just a
Yeah,
great I mean, it's just a great winter, and of course, I love it because it's all about birds, and I work in the nest,
exactly.
so I love it.
Exactly. So
Super
we are going to be,
excited.
December is going to be kind of finishing out this September, December catalog. We as demonstrators, here's another thing I'm thankful for. We as demonstrators have already gotten to see the upcoming spring catalog, which is the January to April catalog. And what other catalog, Mary Ellen?
We got to see the celebration brochure. That
Yeah.
means all the free stuff that we get. So,
And there's a lot in there.
yeah,
There's
a
not
lot.
only stamps, there's paper, there's ribbon, there's gems, there's
Yeah,
all kinds of things.
yes, yes,
Folders, there's all kinds of options in there. I can't wait.
yeah.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, that's going to be coming up. So we are excited to be offering starting January. We'll be starting to show off some new things coming. And if you do not currently have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, reach out to one of us. We would be happy to send you a set of catalogs so that you can have them and you can see all the fun stuff too. Or better yet, sign up. Sign up to be a demonstrator, and you can actually, we get to pre-order here early, and you can actually, when you sign up to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you can actually pre-order as well. So you can actually include some of these items in your starter kit. That's
Yeah, we may or may not have already done that.
I know, right? It's like, oh my, you're going to want these goodies too. So, reach out to us, ask any questions that you might have. We'd be happy to answer them for you.
For sure. Yeah, that's what we do. We
Absolutely.
love what we do, and we love to have you in our community. So
Exactly. Exactly. All
thank
right,
you
everybody.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging in with us, and we hope you'll come back again. We premiere our videos on the last Wednesday of the month. Last Wednesday or fourth Wednesday? I don't know.
Fourth.
Fourth Wednesday.
Fourth.
Fourth Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I know it'll be there the Christmas holidays. So just watch us when you can.
Yeah. And we are very thankful for all of you. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.